When you have lived in Northern Michigan your entire life, like I have, you don't realize just how unusual some of the things about living here can be. Hi, I'm Geno D'Angelo, a local real estate agent, and I specialize in helping people from all over the world relocate to Northern Michigan. Today we're going to talk about a few comments that we have heard from our out-of-state buyers that make buying a house in Northern Michigan unusual, and some things that people likely haven't told you about buying a house in Northern Michigan. Let's start with basements. A lot of buyers are perplexed about basements because in most places around the country, basements are unusual. And a lot of times, if a buyer comes from one of those areas that do not have basements, we spend a lot of time talking about the pros and cons of homes with basements. One of the benefits of having a basement is it literally doubles the square footage of a house, giving you a place for a home theater, a pool table, an exercise room, or even a home office. Also, if the home has an unfinished basement, it's a great place to store Christmas decorations or all that stuff that you don't really know where to put. Now, one of the disadvantages of having a basement are leaks, and that's simply due to the fact that part of the house would be underground. Now, try not to freak out. A qualified home inspector can check out the home during your home inspection period to make sure the house is free of leaks and you can buy it with peace of mind. Another thing people may not have told you about living in Northern Michigan is get used to spending a lot of time in the car. In most areas, you're going to have a commute to both your job, grocery shopping, entertainment, and all the things you want to do in Northern Michigan. And my best advice to you is find a podcast, download Audible so you can listen to books in the car, and really make that time on your commute as enjoyable as possible, and the time will fly by. Now, the reason we have a lot of basements in Northern Michigan is also one of the reasons it's so beautiful here. We have a lot of hills. Northern Michigan, unlike other areas of Michigan, is not flat. We have tons of beautiful hills, allowing us to have homes built into the hills, which give great walkout basements. A good example of what I'm talking about is this house. From the road, it looks like just a small ranch house, but from the back, you can see it's actually a much larger home, and that is due in part to the size of the walkout basement. Speaking of basements, I often get asked why we don't have more ranch-style houses in Northern Michigan. And again, the reason for that is we have a lot of hills. There's not a lot of flat pieces of land for these ranch houses to be built on. Now, don't get me wrong, we do have pockets of areas with ranch houses, but they are definitely not the norm. And if you desire a ranch style house, we can still certainly find you one. One thing people may not have told you about living in Northern Michigan are the 4 seasons. We truly have 4 different times of year, and the living here changes for each of them accordingly. And something that recently happened to me is I was showing houses to somebody and it was 50 degrees one day and snowing the next. And as much as I wish I could say that was unique, that's just how living in Northern Michigan is. Another aspect of living in Northern Michigan that you should consider is home maintenance. Whether that means cutting your grass in the summer, raking your leaves in the fall, or plowing your driveway in the winter, there are no shortage of chores for you to consider when owning a home in Northern Michigan. And now there are costs associated with each of those chores. If you're gonna hire somebody to cut your grass, expect to pay $30 to $50 a time. And if you're gonna hire somebody to plow your driveway, expect about the same price. One other thing you may not be considering when looking for a house in Northern Michigan are the different styles and types of roof. Now, there's different pitches in roofs from very steep to more flat, and there's also different types of shingles. There's your traditional shingle, and then there's also steel roof. Traditional shingled roofs need to be replaced every 20 to 30 years, with the lifespan of steel roofs much, much longer and should really never need to be replaced. Another major difference between the types of roofs are a steel roof is much better for the amount of snow we get in Northern Michigan and almost never needs to be manually cleared. Now, if you have a regular shingled roof, you may have to find yourself on the roof shoveling it off in the dead of winter. Another real aspect of living in Northern Michigan is how affordable the property taxes are. There are only 12 states in the country that have more affordable property taxes than Michigan. This allows you to allocate more of your housing budget on the actual home instead of the property taxes, which means you can likely buy a nicer home in Michigan than you could in other states. Now, one of the reasons you may be considering moving to Northern Michigan are the amount of activities and things to do here. Now, those things are great, but they do come with a cost, and it seems like every activity has a litany of things you need to buy to do it. In fact, most people, once they live here, end up needing an extra garage or to find storage to house all of the stuff they collect to do these activities. Most people, once they move here, end up collecting golf clubs, skis, snowshoes, kayaks, or even some more expensive toys such as four-wheelers, snowmobiles, or side-by-sides. Northern Michigan really is a place where you can live the vacation lifestyle year-round, and you're gonna want all the toys that go with it. I hope after watching this, you feel that you know the truth about living in Northern Michigan. If you'd like more information on what it's like to live here, call us at 231-487-6141, and please comment below and like and subscribe for more videos just like this.